Did you know that some Hollywood stars have left the film industry to serve God? While a few have stepped away completely, others have chosen to remain in the spotlight, but reject certain roles that conflict with their faith. From former American actress Dolores Hart, who left the industry completely, to American actor Chris Tucker, who refused to feature in a film because of his faith, here are 20 celebrities who left Hollywood for God. Chris Tucker is an American actor and comedian. Best known for his stand-up comedy performances that led to his acting career in the early 1990s. Tucker's breakthrough came when he starred in the cult classic Friday as Smokey. However, his role as Detective James Carter in the Rush Hour film series alongside Jackie Chan made him famous. His other notable works include roles in The Fifth Element and Silver Linings Playbook. Tucker grew up in a Pentecostal Christian household, as his mother and father were members of the Church of God in Christ during his childhood. However, along the way, Tucker lost connection with the faith. However, after filming the movie Money Talks in 1997, his view of the world changed, and he became a born-again Christian. Although no one knows what really happened, something on that set changed Tucker's life for the better. This change led him to take fewer roles in Hollywood as he became more selective about the projects he chose, often avoiding material he felt conflict with his faith. He even refused to star in the sequel to the successful comedy Friday. He appeared in Rush Hour sequels because the franchise provided more family-friendly entertainment. Nowadays, Chris Tucker isn't above taking the occasional acting role, but spends the vast majority of his time performing family-friendly stand-up comedy. In 2014, Tucker said during an interview that he doesn't use bad words or swear in his shows because of his Christian beliefs. Kirk Cameron is an American actor, evangelist, and television host. He became famous as a teen actor playing Mike Seaver on the ABC sitcom Growing Pains, a role for which he was nominated for 2 Golden Globe Awards. Cameron grew up in a home where church wasn't a family activity and called himself a staunch atheist. He joined the entertainment industry when he was 14 and became one of the biggest heartthrobs of the 1980s. However, his experience during his years working on the hit sitcom Growing Pains opened the star's eyes to the existence of God. The father of a girl he liked told him something that changed his life. "You have a lot, but you don't have the Lord." From that moment forward, Kirk dedicated his life to sharing the message of his Creator. Cameron began going to church and became a born-again. However, Kirk didn't leave the entertainment industry entirely. Following his conversion, he fought with producers on the program toward the end of the series regarding his character's sinful ways, as he didn't want to portray someone being unfaithful to Christ. It led to the end of the show's successful run. After the show, Cameron became a prominent figure in Christian media, starring in faith-based films such as the Left Behind series and Fireproof. He has since focused on Christian evangelism, producing and hosting religious programs like The Way of the Master, and becoming a vocal advocate for Christian values. Some mainstream audiences have even criticized his beliefs on homosexuality. When Kirk appeared on Piers Morgan Tonight, he said being homosexual is unnatural, detrimental, and ultimately destructive to foundations of civilization. He received backlash from former Growing Pains castmates and quite a few other people, but never retreated from his statements. One of his famous quotes is, "Put your nose into the Bible every day. It is your spiritual food, and then share it. Make a vow not to be a lukewarm Christian." Angus T. Jones is an American former actor, best known for his role as Jake Harper on the hit TV sitcom 2.5 Men. Jones began acting at a young age, landing small roles in films such as See Spot Run and The Rookie. However, his big break came in 2003 when he was cast as the young and humorous Jake Harper, the nephew of Charlie Sheen's character on 2.5 Men. As Angus started coming of age, he became more and more interested in devoting his life to his faith. In November 2012, Jones said that he had been baptized and no longer wanted to appear on 2.5 Men, calling the show filth and saying it conflicted with his religious views. Jones said, "I just had this big wake-up call. I felt God was speaking to me. There were so many other things I could have steered off into that could have made me just another statistic." Jones felt incredibly guilty being a part of the series and had a very hard time reconciling his devout Christian faith with his career. He was working on a show that was filled with topics of sex, drinking, drugs, and debauchery. On March 18, 2014, Angus T. Jones officially announced his departure from the show, saying, "You cannot be a true God-fearing person and be on a television show like that." According to Angus, he felt like a hypocrite during his final years performing on 2.5 Men because the series themes didn't jive with his own religious views. Since Angus finally broke free from the series, he became an outspoken critic of the show. He went so far as to encourage anyone who happened to be watching the program to stop watching. Stephen Baldwin is an American actor, producer, director, and activist, known as the youngest of the 4 Baldwin brothers. Before finding God, Stephen acted in films like Biodome and The Flintstones in Viva Rock Vegas. Born on the 4th of July, Posse, 8 Seconds, Threesome, and The Usual Suspects. While neither film was critically successful, they were both big hits with audiences and helped Stephen make a memorable impression during his time in the industry. According to Stephen Baldwin's book titled The Unusual Suspect, which highlights his personal life, career, and days of drug abuse, he became a born-again evangelical after the September 11th attacks. In 2008, Baldwin teamed up with conservative talk radio host Kevin McCullough to put together a Saturday radio show called Baldwin/McCullough Radio. As of April 18, 2009, the show aired on 2133 stations and in more than 400 cities across the U.S. and worldwide on Sirius 161 and XM 227. Stephen's work on conservative radio has allowed him to share his faith with the world. When asked about if being outspoken on his faith has affected him in the industry, Baldwin said yes and no. "It's unfortunate that because I have believed in Jesus for 15 years, there are many in Hollywood who are unwilling to work with me. That's not a guess. Casting people and producers have told me that they've brought up my name in a room, and the response was, 'No way. We're not bringing that guy and his Bible over here.'" Montel Jordan is an American singer, songwriter, and record producer, best known for his 1995 hit single, "This Is How We Do It." Born on December 3, 1968, in Los Angeles, California, Jordan was a prominent figure in the 1990s R&B scene, with his debut song becoming an anthem for parties and celebrations. The single topped the Billboard Hot 100 chart for 7 weeks. After the success of "This Is How We Do It," Jordan released several other albums and singles, including hits like "Something for Da Honeys" and "Let's Ride." Jordan grew up with his family, who were members of a Baptist church, but as his musical career took off, Jordan abandoned his Christian principles to appear as an R&B artist. After leaving his record label in 2010, Jordan planned to make a comeback album as his foray back into the music industry. However, during a fast at the Victory World Church, Jordan said he was told by God to quit the music industry. He decided to cancel his plans and dedicate his life to his faith. Jordan is now a born-again Christian and can be seen at Victory World Church in Atlanta, Georgia, where he lives and worships with a church team called Victory World Music. In addition to becoming a minister, former hip-hop artist Montel Jordan has released his very own gospel album by the name of Shake Heaven. Dolores Hart is an American former actress who gained fame in the late 1950s and early 1960s before making the surprising decision to leave Hollywood and become a nun. Hart began her acting career at a young age, starring opposite Elvis Presley in Loving You. She went on to become one of the era's most promising young actresses, appearing in films such as King Creole, Where the Boys Are, and Francis of Assisi. Hart's Hollywood career was flourishing when, at the height of her success, she made the life-altering decision to leave acting. In 1963, she joined the Benedictine Abbey of Regina Laudis in Bethlehem, Connecticut, where she became a Roman Catholic nun. It all started after she appeared as Kathy Maywood on The Virginian in the episode The Mountain of the Sun. Hart played a Catholic missionary who, against all warnings, risks her life to honor both her vows to God and her desire to continue her dead husband's work to help a community of poor and sick-embattled Indian tribes. This became her last film role, as she had made up her mind to leave the film industry. During an interview with Fox News, she was asked about Elvis Presley and why she left Hollywood. In her response, she said, "I remember one moment when we were taking a break from filming. He walked over to me, handed me a Bible, and said, 'Miss Dolores, would you open this book? What do you see? What does it mean to you?' And so I offered my opinion on what I was seeing, and from there, we spent the time in between the scenes talking about the Bible." She went on to say, "I think it's important for anyone to understand that it was a dramatic change. It wasn't something I planned on. I thought I would go through my time in Hollywood. However, this vocation showed me my life's purpose. Then I started to ask myself, what am I doing in Hollywood? Where is this going to take me?" The realization became clear, and really, it's a gift. I was so lucky. God called me. Dolores' journey has been documented in the film God is the Bigger Elvis, which was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Documentary. Sherri Shepherd is an American actress, comedian, author, and television personality best known for her work as a co-host on The View. She was raised as a Jehovah's Witness, but she became disillusioned with religion. In the early 1990s, Shepherd began her career in stand-up comedy before transitioning to acting, where she landed roles in TV shows like Suddenly Susan and Everybody Loves Raymond. However, she became famous after she joined The View as a co-host in 2007. Alongside her work on The View, Shepherd has appeared in films like Precious and TV shows such as 30 Rock. During her time as the co-host of The View, she was very open about her faith and the heavy impact that it constantly has on her life. She said that she began to move closer to God when her mom was dying, after she got evicted, and was dealing with a stalker of an ex-boyfriend all at the same time. Talking about her past life of dirty and vulgar stand-up that she used to have to go to, she said, "It was dirty. I thought I had to be Eddie Murphy, and it was working. It was very dirty, vulgar, and blue. I had a following. I had a huge gay following because I did all the clubs in West Hollywood, all the gay pride parades and festivals. When you go into those kind of clubs, all-male clubs, it kind of lends itself to being blue. I would get on stage and do an hour. Oh man, I was so blue, but I got a big following. It was very hard to let all that material go because I lost a lot of my following." Shepherd is currently an evangelical Christian. Tyler Perry is an American actor, filmmaker, playwright, and entrepreneur best known for creating the iconic character Madea. Perry started his career with his stage plays, many of which centered on themes of faith, family, and resilience. Perry's breakthrough came with the release of Diary of a Mad Black Woman, his first film featuring Madea, which was a box office success. Beyond the Madea franchise, Perry has written, produced, and directed numerous other films and television series, such as Why Did I Get Married?, The Haves and the Have-Nots, and House of Pain. Perry is a Christian. He often includes messages of redemption and forgiveness in his films and TV shows, such as the popular series The Haves and the Have-Nots. Many of the themes in his work reflect theology and social behavior indicative of the predominantly black church culture, such as the many scenes in both his stage and screen work that feature church settings and worship styles commonly found in predominantly African American churches, including showcases of gospel music and artists. Perry hasn't left Hollywood, but he had a brief stint where he seriously considered abandoning his entire career. He once explained that he is a deeply religious man and considered leaving the industry at one point, but believes that he can actually use his position in Hollywood to inspire, motivate, and change lives. He believes that as long as he can advocate for strong family values and diversity with God by his side, then he is doing the right thing. Denise Matthews, popularly known as Vanity, was a Canadian singer, actress, and model who rose to fame in the 1980s as the lead singer of the girl group Vanity 6. With the release of their hit single Nasty Girl in 1982, Vanity became an iconic beauty and a major figure in the music world. In addition to her music career, Vanity appeared in several films, including The Last Dragon and Action Jackson. In 1992, Vanity met actor Sam Jones during the filming of Da Vinci's War. Jones invited Vanity to read the Bible with him during a lunch break. Shortly thereafter, Vanity became a born-again Christian. In several interviews, she stated that she would not play any more adult roles. She even renounced her stage name, Vanity, and reverted to Denise Matthews. In 1994, Matthews was hospitalized for 3 months for near-fatal kidney failure from a drug overdose. She recalled later that after being rushed to the hospital, doctors said she had 3 days to live. While on life support, she explained that Jesus appeared to her at this time and spoke to her, saying that if she promised to abandon her vanity persona, he would save her. Revealing in an interview, she said, "With the devil breathing down my neck, trying desperately to snatch and strangle me for hell, I repented." Upon her recovery, Matthews ended her performing career, cutting off all ties with Hollywood and shunning her former life in show business. After a kidney transplant in 1997, Matthews dedicated the rest of her life full-time to Christ. She made speaking engagements at churches worldwide, and she headed Pure Hearts Ministries in Fremont, California. Unfortunately, she passed away on February 15, 2016, due to kidney failure. We are halfway through, so if you are enjoying this video, appreciate it by giving it a thumbs up. And if you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. MC Hammer, Stanley Burrell, popularly known by his stage name MC Hammer, is an American rapper, dancer, record producer, and entrepreneur, known for hit songs such as "Who Can't Touch This" and "Too Legit to Quit." Hammer was raised in a Pentecostal church but strayed from his Christian faith during his success. In a film he wrote and starred in, called Please Hammer, Don't Hurt M, the movie revealed his early life as a devoted Christian. His career began to go down after being labeled a sellout. In 1994, he declared bankruptcy with over $13 million in debt. During these struggles, Hammer experienced a religious awakening and considered going into ministry. In the late 1990s, he reinvented himself with the album Family Affair, which had more spiritual, positive lyrics reflecting his newfound devotion to Christ. He hosted MC Hammer and Friends, a Christian ministry program on Trinity Broadcasting Network, and appeared on Praise the Lord programs, where he went public about his devotion to ministry. As an ordained minister, Hammer officiated at the celebrity weddings of actor Corey Feldman and Susie Sprague on October 30, 2002, and also at Motley Crue's Vince Neil and Leah Gerardini's wedding in January 2005. During an interview on TBN, Hammer revealed that he adopted the MC back into his name, which now stood for Man of Christ. Since then, Hammer has continued to preach while still making music, running a social media business and television show, and devoting time to prison and youth ministries. Denzel Washington is an American actor, producer, and director, known as one of the best actors of his generation, with the New York Times naming him the greatest actor of the 21st century in 2020. Washington became famous for his role in the NBC medical drama series Street Elsewhere, and the war film A Soldier's Story. The actor is one of the Christians in the Hollywood industry. He is a Pentecostal evangelical Christian and a member of the West Angeles Church of God in Christ in Los Angeles. During his peak years in the industry, he even considered leaving the industry and becoming a preacher. During an interview in 1999, he said, "A part of me still says, maybe Denzel, you're supposed to preach. Maybe you're still compromising. I've had an opportunity to play great men, and through their words, to preach. I take what talent I've been given seriously, and I want to use it for good." In a past interview with Access Hollywood, Washington mentioned how, as a young man, a woman had prophesied over his life, saying he would bring the gospel message to millions of people. According to him, she said, "You know, young man, you are going to travel the world and speak or preach to millions of people." A Christianity Today article revealed that Washington reads his Bible every morning, chooses roles he can remedy with his faith, and has been a member of West Angeles Church of God in Christ in Los Angeles for more than 3 decades. Steve Harvey is an American television presenter, comedian, actor, and producer. Harvey began his career as a stand-up comedian in the early 1980s and later hosted Showtime at the Apollo and starred in the television sitcom The Steve Harvey Show. In 2000, he was featured in the original Kings of Comedy after starring in the Kings of Comedy tour. His last stand-up show was in 2012. Harvey is also the host of both Family Feud and Celebrity Family Feud. Holding this role since 2010. Harvey's mother was a Sunday school teacher. Harvey has openly discussed his Christian faith over the years, crediting his wife, Marjorie, with helping to change his life and his perspective, noting that he wasn't quite happy before he met her. He told HuffPost Live after the couple got married in 2007, "I wasn't who I wanted to be in life. A woman changed all that. The Lord saved my soul. Marjorie saved my life." Harvey shared his testimony of how he was homeless and heard the voice of God at his lowest point. He said, "I was so lost, man. I stopped talking to God about my decisions. I was just doing what I wanted to do." On The Steve Harvey Show, he often has Christian guests come to speak about God. Neil McDonough is an American actor and producer, known for his versatile roles across film and television. McDonough began his acting career in the early 1990s. His breakthrough role came with his portrayal of Lieutenant Lynn Buck Compton in the hit box office miniseries Band of Brothers. He has since appeared in a range of notable films, including Minority Report, The Chronicles of Riddick, and Captain America: The First Avenger. McDonough is a devout Catholic and was once blacklisted in the industry because of his faith. In 2003, the actor married Ruva Robertson, a South African model who he met in the United Kingdom while filming Band of Brothers. He stated that he refuses to perform sex scenes or take the Lord's name in vain in any of his roles and kiss female co-stars because of his faith and respect for his wife. According to him, he was fired from the TV series Scoundrels for his refusal to perform sex scenes. McDonough told Fox Business, "We all know that I kind of went through troubles years back because I won't kiss another woman on screen. At the time, it was painful. I didn't work for 2 years. I lost everything: house, cars, this and that. It was one of the most brutal times in my life. I am very religious. I put God and family first and me second. That's what I live by. It was hard for a few years." Zachary Levi is an American actor and singer. He became famous for his role as Chuck Bartowski in the NBC television series Chuck. Levi's career expanded with his role as the superhero Shazam in the DC Extended Universe film Shazam, and its sequel Shazam: Fury of the Gods. Levi credits his faith for helping him escape a dark place, as from a young age, feelings of anxiety and depression were normalized in his life to the point that he didn't know anything was wrong. He turned to drugs and alcohol to cope with his pain. But it wasn't until his 2015 divorce from actress Missy Peregrine that he faced real pain. Levi had a mental breakdown and was struggling with severe suicidal thoughts. Remembering that moment, he said, "Ever since I was a little kid, I had a very real faith, and I have always leaned into God and into my faith and trust and followed. I haven't done it perfectly, but I got to this place where to feel abandoned and to feel like I didn't want to live anymore really shook my faith." After a 3-week intensive therapy program, Levi's faith was restored, and his mental health was stabilized. He revealed that God helped him recover from depression. Although he has not left the Hollywood industry, he remains stronger in his faith than before. Alexa Penavega is an American actress and singer. She is known for her roles as Carmen Cortez in the first 4 Spy Kids films and Julie Corky in the 2004 film Sleepover. Alexa met her now husband, Carlos Pena, at a Bible study. The couple took their family and moved to Hawaii in 2017. After her marriage, Pena found her identity in Christ and left Hollywood. Alexa and her husband have found success in taking on projects that align with their values. They've even starred together in multiple movies and series, including The Power Couple, which is available on PureFlix. Talking about how she left Hollywood, in a recent interview, she said, "I felt this tug in my heart. I felt it was God going, 'You guys need to get out of here. It's time.' I didn't want to move. I knew it was the right decision, but it wasn't something that I was so excited about. My job became my identity. God pulled me out of that so I could learn how to be an awesome mom and an awesome wife. God helped us build that foundation in our family. And once I had that revelation, I felt at peace." Andrew Garfield is an English and American actor. He became popular in 2010 with the supporting role of Eduardo Saverin in the drama The Social Network. However, he got a bigger breakthrough by playing Spider-Man in the superhero films The Amazing Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and later in Spider-Man: No Way Home. Andrew Garfield didn't know who Jesus was or consider himself to be Christian. That all changed while he was preparing for the role of Father Sebastião Rodrigues, a Portuguese Jesuit priest in the 17th century who traveled to Japan to spread his faith in Martin Scorsese's movie Silence. Garfield said that in order to prepare for the role, he had to meet with priests, study Christian writings, and practice Christian exercise. Recounting his experience, he said, "That was the most surprising thing. That was the most remarkable thing, falling in love, and how easy it was to fall in love with Jesus." Father James Martin, a Jesuit priest, served as a spiritual mentor and advisor to Garfield. Garfield said that Martin helped him better grasp who God is. Gary Busey is an American actor known for portraying Buddy Holly in The Buddy Holly Story, for which he was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Actor and won the National Society of Film Critics Award for Best Actor. His other roles include A Star is Born, DC Cab, Silver Bullet, and Eye of the Tiger. The actor became a born-again Christian after suffering a life-threatening motorcycle accident in 1988. In 1996, Busey publicly announced that he was a Christian, saying, "I am proud to tell Hollywood I am a Christian. For the first time, I am now free to be myself." He mentioned that the motorcycle accident, as well as a 1995 cocaine overdose, strengthened his Christian faith. Busey didn't leave the Hollywood industry but continued working. However, it was not all roles that he accepted. His faith led him to complicate the production of the 2003 film Quigley. In an interview with the AV Club, one of the actors, Curtis Armstrong, revealed how Busey forced filming to stop due to his problem with the movie's depiction of heaven. He said Busey supposedly had done this. He'd been in an accident and died and came back. He showed up on a set made to look like heaven, and he looked around and said, "I can't play this scene. It's nothing like this. I've been to heaven, and it doesn't look like this. That sofa's all wrong. That mirror is ridiculous. They don't even have mirrors." Busey even got into a fistfight with an actor over the matter. Johnny Cash was an American singer-songwriter known for his deep, calm, and bass baritone voice. Cash is one of the best-selling music artists of all time, having sold more than 90 million records worldwide. His genre-spanning music embraced country, rock and roll, rockabilly, blues, folk, and gospel sounds. His rise to fame began in the mid-1950s when he signed with Sun Records and released hits like I Walk the Line and Folsom Prison Blues. However, over the years, Johnny Cash started battling personal demons. He started doing drugs and alcohol to cope with the stress of being popular. Cash became a born-again Christian in 1968. He stopped singing secular music. On being born again, he said, "A few years ago, I was hooked on drugs. I dreaded to wake up in the morning. There was no joy, peace, or happiness in my life. Then one day, in my helplessness, I turned my life completely over to God. Now I can't wait to get up in the morning to study the Bible." In 1971, he answered the altar call at Evangel Temple in Nashville, an Assemblies of God congregation pastored by Jimmy R. Snow. In the mid-1970s, Cash was ordained as a minister and officiated at his daughter's wedding. At a performance in Arkansas in 1989, Johnny Cash spoke to attendees about his commitment to the salvation of drug dealers and alcoholics. He recorded several gospel albums and made a spoken-word recording of the entire New King James Version of the New Testament. Cash is even the one that converted actor and singer John Schneider to Christianity. Towards the end of his life, he and his wife attended the First Baptist Church in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Steve McQueen was an American actor widely known as the King of Cool. McQueen became one of the most iconic stars of the 1960s and 1970s. As a child and teenager, McQueen was involved with gangs, committing crimes, and eventually spending time at the California Junior Boys Republic, a public institution. However, he turned his life around and then enrolled in the Marines. After finding stability, he pursued acting. His tough guy image and effortless charisma made him a favorite in films such as The Magnificent Seven, The Great Escape, and Bullitt. He was nominated for an Academy Award for his role in The Sand Pebbles. Apart from acting, Steve was a racer and learned how to fly planes. The pilot who taught him was a man in his early 60s by the name of Sammy Mason. As they shared long hours in the air, talking together about the meaning of life, Steve asked Mason what his secret to a happy life was. Mason sat down with the aging actor and explained who had made the difference in his life. The answer, he said, was Jesus Christ. McQueen was intrigued, and he began regularly attending Ventura Missionary Church with them. After that, Steve and Sammy met for an hour every week and had intense Bible study. Then, about 6 to 8 months after that, Steve got sick on the set of one of his films, The Hunter, and went in for some medical tests, and he heard that he had cancer. Sadly, he died the following year. And which of these brothers would you love to see work together again? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.